Hi, folks. My name is Bob Menzies, and welcome to the Songwriter Life. This is my channel that's devoted to the art and the science and the magic of songwriting, at least as I practice it. I still believe it's somewhat of an arcane life, and I'm not sure I can explain it that well. But in any case, tonight I'd like to talk about a song called Love and Glory. This is a song that's on my first Nashville album, around, I don't know what it was, around 2015 or so, that we spent some time in Mississippi on the Hobson plantation near Clarksville, and did the writing of it and a few other songs and so on. But most of my songs come from just an inspiration, an idea. Just comes. I don't know where it comes from. Sometimes I overhear somebody saying something that sounds kind of cool, or something I read, or something I see out in the street, or I never know where that kind of inspiration will come from and the type of thing that gets me going. The few times that I've tried to write a song to order, so to speak, like I guess the way most songwriters, professional songwriters work, like when people have asked me to collaborate with them, it just never works because, I can't write to order. I sit down, and the biggest enemy of any writer, as I'm sure you know if you're interested in this type of stuff, is that blank page that faces you. And if you have an inspiration or a germ of an idea, I just get that idea down on paper, wherever. It could be on a matchbook, a piece of paper lying around on my desk, or into my phone, or I can't tell you all the different ways songs have written that first line. Once I get that, I kind of get a narrative for the song, and once I have that narrative, the story kind of flows from that, and it usually goes in directions that I didn't expect it to. But let me get back to the inspiration of this song, and I'll talk a little bit more about all of the other elements that kind of come into it. Back around 1970 or so, I was working in the mines in Sudbury. I didn't work there a long time, but enough to get a flavor for what it's like working a mile and a half underground, underneath the Creighton Lake, actually, looking for nickel. So while I was there, it was not exactly an exciting... It's not that it's not an exciting town, but this was January. And the landscape wasn't much to go right home about, because there aren't any mountains to ski on, and so on. Anyway, I joined the local library, and I read pretty well all of John Steinbeck's books. I've always been an avid reader, so this particular time I read all of these books, and the ones that really got to me were books like Cannery Row and Tortilla Flat, of Mice and Men, particularly. And was because of reading all of these books that I got it in the back of my mind that when I left here, I would try to head out to California and see what these worker camps were like, and what the life was like in the fields picking. And I did very shortly after that, go and do that. In any case, I did that for a while. I picked grapes, I picked watermelon, I picked a whole bunch of things, and mostly the other folks were from Mexico. And the one good thing is we had free food. Well, we thought it was free, but then at the end of the week, when they start writing up the chits, it turns out that you have to pay for all of that stuff too through your salary. So I didn't end up with very much money out of it. But in any case, when I was writing this album, I had this idea, and I wrote out the song, and I began to work on it, and so on. And now, so as I said before, I get the inspiration for an idea, and I let it go where it takes me. And then I sometimes do some revising and that sort of thing. Mostly I write a lot of verses, and I don't end up using them all. In this case here, this song started off to be, well, kind of how this character in the song gets out to the San Joaquin Valley, and he's riding a Harley, and he, you pretty well run into the angels if you're out there, and so finds out that his girl, or this girl that he likes, is off with another Angels guy, and I actually remember sitting on Highway 101, and this mean-looking dude on a long Harley pulls up and just roars off into the distance. But before he does, I realize that the girl on the back seat is actually a girl that I was trying to chat up the night before at a local carnival. Anyway, that's another story, so it sort of found its way in there. And then the song evolved into all of those kinds of ways you feel, because the chorus really gives you a way to explore, how the whole song is supposed to feel and what you feel about it. So I continued to do that, and then you'll see I follow this up with a lyric video of the song, and you'll get the idea. And it was recorded by a crack bunch of Nashville cats, and who are always amazing at fleshing out songs and doing some terrific work. So they're awesome, and I appreciate them, and I can't forget them. I used to tell them when we go off for lunch in a session that this is my university. I sit with you guys and I learn so much. So without any more, and if you have any questions, please feel free to get them to me. You can comment on the video. You can send me an email through my website. Do whatever you like, but I'd love to hear from you. And please, subscribe to this video if you find this useful or enjoyable. And now I'll get you to the video and the song, Love and Glory. Oh, one more thing about the title. I probably should have called it Of Mice and Men, because I decided to title it from the first line of the chorus rather than the last one, which is what Nashville people will tell you to do. I just wanted to be a little contrary, but in any case, it's kind of a subtitle now. So here we go, and thanks a lot for watching, and it's been a pleasure talking to you once again, and I appreciate the time you spent with me.
Just get me on up to the San Joaquin Valley. I got a few friends from Gasoline Alley. I'll get on my old Harley, make my peace with God. I'll make friends with the devil if he gives me a nod. Love and glory in the San Joaquin will help me find that girl. Her name is Jean. Strip her off the back seat of that Hells Angels bike, ride down into Mexico whenever we like. Love and glory right to the end. Love and glory and one good friend. Love and glory right to the end. This is the story of mice and men. With a wind in my back, I don't need to bend. I'll ride the white line till this highway is done, and I'll go anywhere but back where I came from. Love and glory right to the end. Love and glory and one good friend. Love and glory right to the end. This is the story of mice and men. All in all, LA has been good to me. Busting a coast highway is kind of a home, but Bakersfield is where I wanna be. And I'm tired of being alone. Love and glory right to the end. Love and glory and one good friend. Love and glory right to the end. This is the story